Hi, guys, welcome to the channel. Today I am going to do a unpopular opinions video, but make it juicy. Juicier than an orange or a sweet pineapple. Grab some popcorn, sit down, and watch this video, because this is going to be a juicy video. So be prepared. These opinions are 100% my own, so to show your support, like and subscribe, and let me know your own opinions down below in the comment section. Okay, then let's begin. Jip isn't as bad as you'll say he is now. Before you guys sit there in shock, horror and disdain, let me explain. Jip is by no means an amazing company, and like many companies, it has its faults. That being said, the ridiculous amount of hate, speculations, and death threats, yes, I know death threats have been directed towards Jip, which makes you just as bad as Jip. I can admit that their treatment towards their idols is horrible and their division system needs a lot of work. That being said, if you detach the company from its artists, Jip truly has produced a lot of legendary and iconic songs, in my opinion. His girl groups in particular have some of my very type of music, not to mention they're catchy and easy to listen to. The likes of Dalla Dalla, like OOAHH, BGGG by Miss A and Irony by Miss A are all phenomenal debut songs. What I'm trying to get at is that, although Jip is by no means an amazing company, I can appreciate his work and dedication towards his groups. That being said, if you're going to give flack to Jip, go ahead, and you have every right to do so, but also call out SM and their slave contracts, and their ridiculous treatment towards their foreign idols. Also, call out again their blatant misogyny and overall shaddiness inside that company. Essentially, the bottom line is companies are corrupt, and while I agree that Jip should be called out, so do the other companies out there. No company will be perfect, and I just feel like some fans are going overboard. Complaining to Jip the man or the company can be counterproductive. Also, weighing in the fact that Jip hasn't been the CEO since 2011 if I recall. The current CEO is the one making the decisions. Even though Jip the man is involved in a lot of his groups, T-Hat doesn't reduce the fact that he isn't making all of the decisions. Certain fandoms, particularly GOT7 fans, have become so hostile towards Jip the company and the artist. You completely understand their annoyance 100%, but it's ironic in the sense that GOT7 is a senior group and that them not coming back after a year is not inherent mistreatment. I do agree that they have been treated poorly, but it's becoming overbearing a lot of the time. Most of the companies don't care. As long as they're not losing profit and the money isn't losing steam, they will continue to not change. My next opinion is that, although Twice are by no means flopping, I believe that they are beginning to lose steam. This is completely fine and normal. They have moderately good course, and no group stays at the top forever. Their most recent release by no means charted poorly, but it sold abysmally in comparison to Twice's previous sales. I think ideally speaking, the group would benefit from a hiatus from music or just pulling in pink. The whole 2 releases a year shtick isn't working out, even though the members don't want to do solo or subunits. Perhaps starring on variety shows, or just taking a well-needed rest would benefit the group. I obviously can't predict the future, and it could very well not be true, but I don't think Twice will chart or sell as well as they did before, which is okay, but yeah. Next up is Moas are extremely immature. This isn't aimed or apply to the non-toxic Moas, but the toxic minorities need to stop. I mean, the whole Ungenet boy thing is harmless and completely fine, but boy do they overuse. I had no issue with it until they decided to act as if the title belongs to him. Only the fact that the title has existed before TXT had even debuted. The toxic Moas can do their clonery, but invading it and sending hate to male idols that have earned this title is humorous, to say the least. But hey, do you as Midzy? I've seen this type of behavior on non-TXT spaces and it's overbearing. Please, any toxic Moas, stop it. It also highlights how seriously fans take this labels. Moas seem to treat it like a competition instead of a nice title. That highlights how popular your fav is in Korea. Having it girl or it boy title shows you have GP appeal, successful commercials, K-dramas or variety show appearances, etc. Yeonjun isn't and most likely won't be one, considering it's a naturally given title. Fans treat brand reputations like the end all be all when it comes to their fav, even though it's been proven to be rugged and unreputable. Fans will be engaged in fans wars and online discourse because their fav didn't rank in the top 10 in brand rankings or another idol ranked number 1 instead of that idol. The whole thing is taken far too seriously, and it shows how young and impressionist pop fans are. Granted, I'm young myself, but wow, it truly highlights this in cases like these. My next juicy opinion is that Sana doesn't need her lead dancer position. In a few of these videos, people have said she deserves the position back. While she does dance great to some extent, I can agree she is a great performer, but why is her position that important? I don't know, considering twice our senior group positions aren't as important anymore. I'm sure most fans, new or old, will recognize she has good stage presence, etc. Positions are important, but in the context of the group, it isn't needed. Next up, Jennie or Blackpink's attitude is considered badass and non-cookie cutter. If I'm being honest, none of the members exhibit this persona. If Jennie, the resting B face, doesn't necessarily. Her resting B face gives this illusion paired with the unattainable persona, she comes across vastly different compared to her counterparts. Even then, she doesn't exhibit that much badassery. Even Lisa doesn't even exhibit any badass personas per se. I think the fact of the matter is that Blackpink's concept portrays them this way. In their marketing aspect, they have individual archetypes that portray them differently to their counterparts. They don't come across relatable, but more so desirable. The T is most idols who are deemed as badass or an anomaly aren't. I guessing pop idols come across good-natured and kind. Hwasa made headlines for wearing risque outfits, having darker skin than normal, and quote-unquote desirable Korean beauty standards. Hwasa is stunning, but in Korea, her facial features are seen as undesirable. Her body type is more than healthy, yet she looks thick in comparison to their desired slim physique. Her performance outfits that show her curves wouldn't be deemed anything groundbreaking if she was in the Western industry. In a country that comes across as more conservative, her persona comes across this way when really and truly it's nothing particularly astounding. While Somi has released an abysmal amount of songs since debuting, I think she fits as a soloist. Her personality is also very out there and bubbly and extroverted. I believe a lot of fans don't like the fact that she had everything handed to her on the plate, in the sense that she competed on Gyps 16, being one of the youngest contenders is alongside Young and Natty. She then went on to produce the first season, making the lineup and becoming the center. She reached a high amount of success at the mere age of 15. That's literally around my age. After the group's disbandment, she was rumored to be a member of the next JYP and GG. This is false, and she leaves, signing with a sub-label and having a highly anticipated debut single, even though she went on the down low for quite a few years. Essentially, the hate towards her can be directed to the fact that her life is desirable. She's had so much success at such a young age. We are so used to idols struggling to persevere and having to overcome hurdles to reach their goal. Some idols come from poverty and suddenly are whisked into the idol industry with success. Some complete so many survival shows before they debuted, yet here you have some who's had success everywhere. Even with her abysmally small amount of songs, she's still relatively successful. So the reality is that some of her hate is because her life is desirable, and desirability leads to jealousy in some cases. The hate gets too much time, but the tea is some people are jealous of her life. Not many idols can experience being in a successful produced show, being in 2 big 3 companies, and being the center of an IOI at the ripe age of 15. SM's concept is okay at best, but some of your are so used to cookie cutter or abysmal concepts. When some go above and beyond or become slightly more creative, suddenly they deserve all this praise. Also, SM apologists are low-key annoying, and with the whole aespa controversy, SM has proven to some of y'all that they are like most companies. They want money and profit, and that clouds their morals and better judgment. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me drink some more tea before I begin.
The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Also, next juicy opinion is that despite my girls unintentional success with non-stop, I curious to see how they maintain it. They've charted super well, and I really happy for them. I discovered them in 2019. but properly got into them with their summer single Bungee that promoted the same time as its first comeback Icy. I will say their success is well deserved, but it'll be interesting to see how their next comeback will play out. Yua had a solo song in September which was super nice song. Group wise, I hope their company plays their cards right. With scene added of Nugu and mid-tier companies not being able to sustain their group's instant success, Momoland's Boom Boom was amazing for the Gore-Up's popularity and they couldn't maintain it and went back to being Nugu / mid-tier. The same with Crayon Pop. I have a feeling similar to Exit. They won't be a top Gore-Up in Korea, but they be nicely upper mid-tier. Next year Non-Stop will be a year old. If their next song doesn't chart as well, then I see them continuing with their fairy ethereal concept. But yeah, I don't think No Offense So My Girl will be a top girl group like some people assume. They'll be more upper mid-tier, which is still super great. Next juicy hot take is that CLC won't increase in popularity. I know Cheshires believe that there is still some hope, but even with CEO's changes and a higher budget and more online content, I'm not seeing it happening. The fact that it took 5 years for the group to rebrand their logo is astounding, but I suppose CLC have been put on the back burner for some time now, but I digress. CLC even trended on YouTube, if I recall, under Single Helicopter was well received. The budget was a lot of better in comparison to their previous, yet it didn't chart any better and their sales increased very little. In the context of CLC's album sales, it was a great improvement but nothing spectacular. They will however continue to release music, and once their contracts expire I don't see many of them renewing. I do think Seunghee, Yeon and Seungyeon and maybe Seon re-signing. Seunghee does a lot of singing covers that she could continue to do after the group has run its course, or she could sign to a smaller company elsewhere. Seungyeon does a ton of Dancing covers, and being in Cube after CLC's discourse would allow her to keep dancing and maybe running her own dance studio and pulling a Minzy. Seon is in the middle. She does YouTube content and could do that full time, or she could stay in Cube and book MC jobs, etc. Yeon would stay, no doubt. She went on a rapping net show with other idols and has shown she can carry a stage on her own. She would go solo and stay in Cube to book jobs. Okay, I have a couple more opinions, but let me know below if you agree down below before I continue. Okay, so my next one is award season has been depleting. I have been into pop since 2019. And I experienced award season for the first time last year. It was really good, yet this year it's been lacking severely. I mean, friend, ITZY and Luna were not invited to a few award shows. How can you not invite the monster Rocks? ITZY and Luna and Frieden, both groups put on such a show, and it's a real shame that they weren't invited. In ITZY's case, I think they're attending the GONA award shows in January 2021, so yeah, I'm excited for that. Hopefully the other groups are invited to some award shows. Award season is only yearly, yet it's lacking so much. First of all, the lack of rookie Gore-Ups invited is bizarre. I would have assumed that if you having a Rookie of the Year nomination, you would invite 2 groupsmen, and to attend this year Secret Number is the only group that been invited to an award show so far, not even Signature or Weekly, etc. However, is handling and organizing these awards need to re-evaluate their decisions when it comes to award season. It's ironic as pop is known for its performance aspect, the dancing, stage outfits, glitz and glamour, yet it's been lacking lately. Western artists like Doja Cat are putting on a show, and I want that to be that way for all the groups performing. Yeah, also viewership would increase if that was the case. It makes the shows more interesting and fun, especially for pop fans. Irene's scandal was really bad, and I'm surprised that SM is already giving Avi a comeback. Granted, the other members don't deserve to be doonged thanks to Irene, but damn, a famous Chinese stylist came out claiming Irene has had bad attitude since 2018 alongside other famous makeup artists, photographers, etc. It was horrid. I hope Irene has reflected on her actions, and the fans coddling her is absurd. This woman is grown as can be, and it's a shame. Okay then. I feel like that's all I've gotta say. If I have some opinions I'll make a second video. For the time being I think I'll leave this video here. Thank you all for watching and please subscribe, like and comment and leave your own spicy opinions below. I'll be sure to respond. Also, do you guys agree with any of my opinions? Let me know below. Okay then, hope you guys like the juicy opinions. It was so juicy I need another sip of THMM. Okay then, love y'all so much. Bye, see you very soon.